Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to yet another video. Today is going to be a new episode of the Shadowcast, the podcast discussing all things hidden in the shadows with me, your host, the Living Shadow. So, I'm getting ready here to get started. Give me just a couple more moments. Because I know what I want to talk about. So, it's going to be relatively easy. I'm going to bring this up here. Here we go. If you would like to listen to the podcast is available on all your podcast players, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Stitcher. I think it's on Stitcher. I'm not sure if it's on Stitcher or not. I have to check that one out. But it's on all the rest of the podcast players. Okay? If you just want to hear the audio and not necessarily just see me dangling around here. But you know you want to see me dangling around here. Yeah, you do. Okay, we're ready to get started here. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of the Shadowcast, the podcast discussing all things hidden in the shadows. I am the Living Shadow, your host of the show. And today we have news. It is Thanksgiving. November 2022, Thanksgiving. Not Thanksgiving, because what is given is murder. So in the news this past week in America, for those who are aware, for those who are not aware, for those who just want to hear what I'm talking about when I say it, we had two mass shootings, one at a gay bar in Colorado and another one at a Walmart in Virginia. One was a fed up employee or a fed up manager who was just done with everybody, I guess, and decided to shoot up people. The other one was at a club, and I don't know what provoked that reaction out of them, but they are a non-binary person, so the shooter and the crime is going to be known as they're a non-binary person. I don't know the name yet. I don't think they have released names yet. I haven't seen names being released. I'm recording this right on the day before Thanksgiving, so if they release names after this, which they most likely will, then, you know, there'll be names. But for the most part, that's what we got this week. Killings, murder, ups and down news for politics and stuff like that. Here's the thing, though. Because we have layoffs. Again, there's more layoffs. I think Google just now announced their layoffs for tech companies. There's some other companies. I just seen a video on YouTube earlier about this guy who got fired from his job, who got laid off from his job. It was a tech job, but it wasn't one of those big name companies. It was still a tech job, though, like a startup. But they lost people. I just feel like we're in a time right now where, yes, it's time to get around and let me get to the yams. Them sweet, sweet yams. But at the same time, it's like, I don't want to hear no BS. Like, I want to be around family, things like that. I imagine a lot of people do want to be around their family, but it's like, how many people do you have to hear BS about or BS from? Like, why are we still hearing about Walmart killings? Why are we still hearing about gay club killings, mass shootings? Why do we still have this? We can have gun reform. We could have had that by now. It's like this stuff is falling real tone deaf in 2022. You know, I think we just as matured as a society. I'm hoping. Like the younger people the younger people get it. It's the older people who are still like, oh my God, but it's just going to happen anyway, no matter what we do. No, it's not. If you change something, it won't happen anyway. And I think that's kind of where I'm sitting at right now. Like, I saw a post about changing Thanksgiving, like decolonizing it, because it's a colonized holiday. Lord knows the only reason why we celebrate Thanksgiving like that is because it gets us out of work. And you know damn well that's true. If you work a 9 to 5 especially, you love to get that day off of work. It don't matter for what it's for. You just want to get the day off of work. Columbus Day, get the day off work. Okay, great. I don't give a damn about Columbus, but let me get off of work. That's where we at right now. I don't give a damn about Thanksgiving like that, but let me get off work and eat some food. I care about some food. The original meaning of Thanksgiving was we're supposed to be coming together. So now when we try to come together, we have mass shootings. What is this? We wouldn't have those if we just banned the guns. I don't know. I don't know. It's senseless to me. It's senseless. I don't even want to talk about celebrity news, anything like that, honestly. The other thing I wanted to really talk about today in this episode is being thankful for things. I know it's kind of cliche, but I am thankful that I was not involved in that stuff. Although lots of times and this is me being personal here with you guys for a moment, I'm a suicide survivor. I've had several suicide attempts. So for me, seeing something like that, my first reaction is normally, or would have normally been, oh my God, why was I not there so I can get shot? I did not feel this way this time. So that's like a win for me, I guess, in terms of depression wise. But honestly, like, things are looking up in Michigan. Minimum wage is going up. We have a full Democratic thing. So it's in Michigan, the state of Michigan, things are looking well for, like, they're going to start going well. We got abortion is still legal, thank God. So we don't have to deal with all these crazy people running around here doing God knows what. But it's rough. I think the holiday season is just rough in general anyway. If you are that type of person where you are like an introvert, or if the holiday seasons to me are rough. If you're not like a family person, I'm not a family person. It's rough. I'm trying to be more of a family person, but it's rough for me in general. It's rough for me. Holidays are rough. I don't do holidays very, very well. Now I see this stuff like this on the news, and I'm like, ugh. And you know why I don't like to do holidays and things like that? It's not because, I don't hate my family or anything like that. It's because my definition of family and support and all these different types of things are very, very different than other people's. Other people say they support you just because they looked at you. Like that to me is not support. That's a view. You know what I mean? Like if you viewed this video, that's a view. That's not necessarily support. Now, if you left a comment, a supportive comment, that would be support because it's literally a supportive comment. But it's like, I don't know. I don't have low standards. I have very high standards for things. So when I'm seeing this stuff, I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. Why are we not raising the standard? When I see these killings, like, why are we not raising the standard for they even have a gun? Why are we not raising these standards? When I'm seeing people have their stuff, and since 2020, I've seen so many people try and start and do different things, so many small business things like that. I am so sick and tired of talking to people who do not support me. Full stop. Don't want to do it. And refuse to do it anymore. I've seen so many people do that or say that. Like, I don't want to be dealing with people who don't help me or who don't do this for me. And it's like, okay, if I said that, you would be cut off from me too. So if everybody's cutting everybody off, then where are we really at? Everybody's really like, as far as from what I'm seeing, so many people are really searching for their tribe, their group of people, the people who they fit in with, the people who they belong with. And the internet is supposed to be able to help you open up to get those people who are maybe not near you physically, that you still can identify with. But at the same time, with these algorithms, man, how organic is your interaction with anybody anymore? And I'm not trying to be funny, or I'm not trying to be like, oh, here's a conspiracy theorist again. But I mean, it may be a conspiracy theory, but to me, these algorithms are a conspiracy theory. They really are. But what is their stand? Like, how do you train some of these things to know what you're looking for? Because I've seen some people who get, there's people out there who can get someone who can pay $1,000 to get a picture of their foot. And there's some people who can't get anything. Like, it's out there. This law of attraction, things like that. I don't know if law of attraction and the algorithms are going to work very well, but there's some way around doing these things, living this life, and it needs to change on so many fronts. Now, I identify as a non-binary person, same way as this killer from the Colorado killer. Excuse me. I don't want to do a mass shooting. I would shoot myself. I don't really care to shoot other people unless I really got pushed that way. I'm just gonna be honest. So I can only imagine what would really push this person to start shooting this gun. And when you say the gun isn't bad, the person is bad. Blah 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 blah. That's fine. Don't give bad people a gun. Just straight up, just don't give bad people a gun. I'm gonna keep saying that because it goes. It needs to be said. I'm gonna just keep saying that. Don't give bad people a gun. But my point of it, the matter is that I don't get it. I don't understand what. Sorry, you guys. I just don't. I don't get it. I don't get the whole. On a psychological standpoint, I don't get why we have such like abysmal standards for things. Why are they so weak? Why are we sitting around here dealing with things that we could have been solved a long time ago? Why are we putting people through these pains, these agonies? Why are we sitting here with global warming being the way it is? Why are we sitting here, like, it's like, at Thanksgiving, I think about, like, why am I sitting here around this table with these people who don't really support me? Why? For what is the purpose? For a meal? Am I just a desperate college student for a meal? And most time it is that. It's for a meal. Like, I want to eat for free. But, like, why are we putting up with stuff we don't need to put up with? It's time to kill that off. Why can't we kill that off? Instead of killing off people, let's just kill off these lower standards for things. And I see that happening all around. It seems to be the general tone of this holiday season. It's facing the seasonal depression, facing these things head on. And I guess my question to be is, what would it take to kill these things off? In your personal life, what would it take to kill off some of the things that you're sick of? What would it take to kill off? For my instance, okay, it's like, what would it take for me to kill off this fake support? And it's fake support. It's really what it is. It's fake support. I've had real support now, and it's so terrible and rough because it's like, I feel like I really shouldn't have to teach you how to support me the right way. When I've said it several different ways. We're just gonna pause this Assassin Apparel ad and then come back. Okay? Let me get the point across that way. Y'all think I'm playing? I'm really about to play this ad. Okay, so now that we've gotten that out the way, well, I say support. Okay, I don't want to be beating around the bush any type of way that. I mean literally support, feedback, comments, likes, shares, purchases, bookings, even just telling me what you think about the what I got going on over here. Listening really in depth to what I'm like. So many people are so fake. I've seen so many people be so fake in my life. I've seen so many people in my face go support somebody else who is doing not even half of what I will do for them or have done for them. And they come to me and complain about it. Like, why are you complaining to me about you screwing me over? No. No. I don't want to hear you complain about you screwing me over. Why do I want to hear you complain about that? Like I keep forgetting to look at the camera. I apologize. If you want to see the video version of the podcast, the Living Shadow .me has the video version of the podcast on there now on the Living Shadow page, Living Shadow TV, and there's also the Shadowcast podcast on YouTube, which you can go to and see me on the video portion if you actually want to see me on the video portion. But we've just entered we've entered a realm in where it's time for the fakes to die, right? It's time for the fakes to be over, the fake shit. Everything is getting exposed. Over and over again, we're seeing things get exposed. Especially in the music industry, things are getting exposed. Lotto just had 130 songs leak out. The exposure is coming. Like these things are exposing step by step, piece by piece. They even got the thing to get Trump's tax returns. They're finally going to get his tax returns. What they're going to do with him in a short amount of time, I don't know. But I've seen more news than just the killings. But that's the main thing that happened. I mean, the rest of this stuff is whatever. Point being is that, we finally get to this point. And I question whether or not it's even. I question whether it's worth the time it is given, knowing how low the standard is, how low the standard has been set. Knowing how low that is, I wonder, how do we progress even? It just doesn't make any sense to me. We're in 2022. And I say that, and everybody, like, this is supposed to be a time with all these different technological and ways to share our opinion and ways to get things done, all these different advancements that we have in life. Why is our thinking not advanced along with it? The average person's thought pattern has not advanced along with the rest of the world. It's very, very frightening. At least in America, I would say. I haven't been to another country, so I don't know what other countries have going on. I do have listeners from other countries. I welcome you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. This is support by listening. I count this as support by listening. Thank you for supporting me. But it's just, I don't know. We're having so many global conversations. And I bring up the shooter because, they are going to be a global conversation. They're a non-binary person. They go by they, them pronouns. I'm saying it. I believe I'm saying it correctly throughout this entire episode. When that broke on Twitter and it trended on Twitter of it being a non-binary person, and people are still trying to figure that out. Like, oh my god, so it's the gays killing the other gays? Like, yeah, pretty much. I mean, blacks have been killing blacks. We stopped doing that so much. White people just been killing everybody over here, and I believe they were white. All these mass shootings are usually white people. I'm just gonna be honest with you. They're not always white people, but if you see a mass shooting, it's usually a white person. Like full stop. Like it should stop, but full stop. It's usually a white person. Don't ask me why, what they got going on, but it's usually a white person who has these, not black people. Black people will probably do like some a crime, but they may not. They don't just pop with a mass shooting usually. It's weird. I don't mean to break it down by race, but however, when the data is clearly in front of your face every day, as we see these shootings every day, you put together a pattern when you see the things every day. You know, like just the week of Thanksgiving, we were all like, "Hey, I thought we were gonna be done with this stuff. We're finally done." Like, no, we're not done. Why? Because we haven't really done anything to be done with it. Just hoping, and this is to me the equivalent of boomers, and this is why I don't like Thanksgiving. Like, and it's not even like I don't like Thanksgiving, but I just don't like holidays, especially with family members. It's like you're just gonna just like wait for it all to go away. I can't. Like, you can't wait for people's gay to go away. Like people, you know how people say it's just a phase. They're just waiting for it to go away. Like I can't. I can't when people saying when people just trying to pray their life and they don't put no action towards it. I can't. I can't with the people who don't put any type of effort into doing something, but want to sit there and say that. It's like the same people who I'm talking about with the support thing. Don't tell me don't act all heartbroken like, oh, you really support me when you have not really taken the action to support me. And I know somebody out there who's listening to this is going to feel the same way. Like, if you really are supporting me, you're supporting me. If you're not, then you're not. But don't sugarcoat the shit. Just don't. Because it's still shit. And it's like, the more and more we are out here in this world, the more and more we're taking the sugar coating off. And we're exposing the real shit. This generation, younger generations are exposing the real shit. And the older generations are like, but, why can't you just take what we spoon fed you? Because we can't even afford to get your spoon feeding. Your spoon feeding is on cable. I can't afford cable. Cable is like $50 to $60 a month. For me to watch you tell me about life that I don't even like, no. I'll see you on YouTube. Thanks. Like, no. Like, I just, Jupiter went direct. We're in a retrograde. Things are just happening. And it's hard to be thankful. I still want to be thankful, don't get me wrong, but it's hard to be thankful with all the shit going on that's going on and having to think about it and not just trying to block it out of your mind. I know so many people who just try to block things out of their mind. And they wonder why they can't remember things because you try to block things out of your mind so much. Say, now you're blocking things you don't even want to get blocked. Blockity, block. It's Thanksgiving, y'all. Thanksgiving. There is a movie called Thanksgiving, if you're not aware. But it is Thanksgiving. There's lots of stuff that is happening out here. And for the life of me, I'm just hoping that shit improves because I'm tired of seeing it. I'm tired of expecting to feel empathy for it. I mean, I do feel empathy for some of these situations and some of these people in some of these situations, but the well that I had previously has really run dry because of how much you're expected to feel for this stuff that's just easily avoidable at a certain point. If you don't really like your family, it's easy to avoid your family. And I know I'm partially making a podcast discussing how avoiding family, but if you don't like your job, it's easy to just quit. I know some people really don't like to do that, but I'd rather quit than shoot up the place for that Walmart killing. Because it's a Walmart killing too. That was the day after the gay club killing. I don't really want to talk about celebrities. That's the other big news that's been happening. I don't. At a certain degree, I feel like Wendy Williams if I do that. No, I like Wendy, but I just that's not where I want this to go. Thanksgiving. I really would like to see what you all, if anybody is listening to this, tweet at me, The Living Shadow, on Twitter or on Tribal or Mastodon. I did set up those. That's just been confusing enough as it is dealing with that and social media and Elon Musk on Twitter. And it's hard because I feel like we're still trying to connect with people. Like, you just heard me complain about my family. You can make your own family. You can make a different family. Like, I'm still trying to find the family that I really am supposed to be with or supposed to be around. And it's not necessarily have to be like, oh, your birth family, your adoptive family, your cousin Jim. It's the people who make you feel at home. And there's not that many people who make me feel like I'm comfortable around them. Like, I'm not cozy around a lot of people. And I wonder if these people who go through and do these killings, if they have that same type of thing where they're not cozy around a lot of people, and they're forced to go to work every day, like that Walmart worker forced to go to work when you're not comfortable around people like that because you need to get your bills paid, or like for the non-binary person at the club, maybe you're forced to deal with just snot nose, dusty ass niggas. Like, and that's probably something that you all don't like for me to say on this podcast. But if you look on the video, I'm black. You better watch my video so I can say the word. But maybe you're just dealing with these like snot nosed, bratty ass boys, and you like, or whatever, you freaking messy, bougie ass bitches. I don't like, ooh. It's just I don't know. I like a lot of people. I support the gay community. However, it's not lost that there is problems within the gay community between gay people. Clearly, and that's what's highlighted today. And I think that needs to be focused on is queers cleaning up the queer community. That needs to be the focus of this shooting, of this news story, not Republicans, not Christians. It needs to be gun reform and queers cleaning up the queer community and being better towards each other. And I don't mean in terms of how we refer to each other in the media, because that's what tends to be the biggest. Oh my goodness! Well, if gay people talk nice about other gay people when they're talking about gay people in the media, like no, that's not. You need to be honest. And the honesty is what's going to set us free. We're going to take the sugarcoating off. Don't try and sugarcoat the shit when you get on TV. And I see that a lot. In this case, I wonder how. I mean, it seems like it's going to be a public case. They're going to cover it. Hopefully, they cover it. Is this going to finally start building blocks for a queer community to really get together and say, let's stop being so fucking bigoted towards each other for whatever reason? You know? Who cares if you're masked, if you're femme, if you're top, if you're bottom, if you're whatever, if you're not even a good person? And for me, I'm autosexual. This is another thing I really want to touch on, and then this is probably going to be the last topic I touch on for this. I'm autosexual. I'm asexual at that. I don't have a lot of sex drive desire personally. when I hear these stories about dudes, all they talk about is sex with another. With like, is that it? Like that's it. That's all you're defined by is the sex. You don't do anything else. What's this person like? I mean, like you're fucking them, but are you even getting to know them? Is that just hookup culture? Am I late to hookup culture? Because really, what I'm saying is that so many of these things that have come across as being tropes or being derogatory forms of talking about the queer community have come from the fact of their truths about the queer community. Like the whole having sex, the hoes having sex thing, blah blah blah. They just want to turn everybody gay. There are some people who do try and turn people out. It's not everybody, but a few bad apples can ruin it for everybody else. We just need to get our shit together. And not just our messaging, but our actual shit together. And no, I don't mean your douche. I mean, like, literally. It sounds even worse when I say it like that. But it's like, really, like, get your character together. We all need to get our character together, including myself. I probably should not be on this podcast saying what I'm saying, but I'm saying what I'm saying for a reason because it's Thanksgiving. We have another killing going on. Why? My guess is probably because of the bullying within the queer community, let alone the outside forces. We have enough bullying within our own communities and communities, as I keep trying to stress out, because it's I mean, the LGBT, the LG, the L, the B, the G, the T, and the Q, and the A, and the I, and the whatever other letters you want to throw on there. They're all separate communities by themselves. So if you're trying to mesh them all into one, which is what's happened for so long, this is why we have so many problems. Because you're trying to throw all these people together who is really way more nuanced than that. People are more nuanced than that. There's little cliques. Like, if you see how many people at the lunchroom, when you go to the lunchroom in high school, everybody's seen them high school TV shows and movies. There's like 6 or 7 chairs at the table. That's it. It's not like you sit with 30 people at one lunch table. It's like 6 or 7. How many friends do you really have? People tend to have really like 6 or 7 friends, like really close friends. They don't have hundreds of really close friends. No, they just don't. Some people do. Don't get me wrong, they're outliers. But most people do not have. It's like people are not meant to be in masses, in droves like this. I truly don't. I truly believe that before technology, people were not in massive droves about much of anything. You come together on this massive scale for things. And it can be a glorious thing, but honestly, I think that when it comes to